Hey YouTube, this is NJ Fullwider 5, and what I've got here is a power supply. This is one of those RD6006s by I believe they are called Ruiden. I have no affiliations with these guys. I had to pay out of pocket. Well, this video is actually sponsored by JLC PCB. Just to give a heads up on the pricing real quick before I get too far into this, the actual unit, it was around 58 bucks. The case was around 35 bucks, and the power supply was around 35 bucks. Now that brings it up to around 120 to 130 dollars, but that does not include shipping. Shipping can be anywhere from nothing to, you could pay up to $90 in shipping to get stuff here quick from China. So it all depends on how fast you want your product. I have found these locally, and I'm gonna leave that in the description. Locally being in America, but whenever you pay for them in America, I think they've already included the shipping cost, because I noticed that if I decided to get this from China with the expedited shipping, it comes out to about $200. If you buy this in America, it comes out to like $160, $170. So it all depends on how fast you want to get it and how quick you want to put one together. So I've got a power supply here, which is the 60 volt 400 watt 6 amp, or I believe it's 6.8 amps or something like that. I believe this is capable of doing 70 volts, and I believe it's capable of doing 50 volts. I think whenever I've seen them, the S-400-60 or the S-400-70 came in an S-400-60 70 48, and then it just went down from there. And as it went down, I noticed that the amperage climbed based on Ohm's law, of course. So what we're going to do in this video is I'm just going to quickly throw this together. We may do a little bit of testing, nothing major. There's so many videos out there where people are showing these hooked up to oscilloscopes and show, you know, a lot of good testing. As a matter of fact, there's a guy named Jerry Walker. He looks like a new poster, you know, somebody new to YouTube. He did a series on this. He used the power supply, and he used what are those toroids? That guy has got a series of videos that is so detailed. Out of all of the research I did, this guy Jerry Walker probably had the best research I could find out there, next to the actual guy that made the power supply himself. He actually's got a YouTube channel too, and I'll leave his link down in the description. So again, this video is sponsored by JLC PCB. I will get into unboxing this and putting it together, and then I'll see you guys after the video, after it's complete. I would like to thank JL PCB for sponsoring and making this video possible. JLC PCB is one of the largest prototype manufacturers in China, with over 10,000 PCB prototypes ordered and produced daily. Their warehouse has an overall location size of 4,000 square meters, where they do 1, 2, and 3 layer or even multi-layer PCB prototypes. Upload your Gerber file with prices starting at $2 for standard PCBs. Make sure to visit JLC PCB's homepage, jlcpcb.com/, or use the link in my description. Click the Quote Now button, add Gerber file, or if you're using the easiest PCB designer site, Easy EDA, click the Generate Fabrication file, where it will show you your Gerber file and ordering information. Click the Order at JLC PCB, where it will download your Gerber file automatically. Click your free color silkscreen, green, red, yellow, blue, white, or black, and then click Save to Cart. Click the Checkout Securely button, where it will ask you your shipping address, shipping method, submit order, and payment. It's that easy to get your quality $2 PCBs at JLC PCB in as little as 3 days. Thanks again JLC PCB for sponsoring this video. Alright YouTube, well that's this build and the hack that I did to it. As you've seen, I used a 42 volt battery with it and it worked perfectly. It also looks like you could probably, instead of putting a power supply in here, probably put something like a 42 volt battery, even a 14S battery in here instead, and make it completely portable all the time. But that kind of didn't make sense to me on this build because the case is so long. So I just made it to where I could you know, use a battery if I needed to. Let's say the power goes out and I still want to do some lab work. I was gonna go ahead and hack the probe, as I was gonna use something like this, and I already did all the soldering and stuff to it, and I was gonna put it in. I got to thinking about it. I'm gonna need a little bit longer wire, so I just at the last second just decided against it. I figured I could do that in another video. And what I was gonna do is I was gonna take wire like this and I was gonna extend it, because this is the same kind of plug that it uses. I was going to extend the probe wire, and then I was going to connect it to something like this. And this is actually from I believe it's a 5S plug, and I kind of trimmed the top where this would fit in the top, and I wouldn't plug it in upside down. And then what I was gonna do is I was gonna put like maybe a little 1/4-inch hole in the side of this, and then I was gonna put this up to it and then put a couple screws in the side to where it wouldn't fall out. That way I could just plug in and plug the probe whenever I needed to. But at the last second I decided against it, and I figured in another video I could do that upgrade. But for now, this is it. I'm not gonna do no testing like I said, because like I said, Jerry Walker done a great test on it. He did it with a power supply, a switching power supply, and he did it with I believe those are called Torrid power supplies. He also did some he hooked it up to oscilloscope. He did all kinds of testing. That's probably the most detailed testing I'd found on YouTube or anywhere. As for putting it together and stuff like that, the actual maker of this has his own YouTube channel. Like I said, he did a great job at showing how to put it together. He kind of skipped some steps. What I found out is this face is really super tight in here, and it can be a pain in the butt to get in there. So they didn't show that in this video, but I'm telling you, this is hard to get in. Once you get it in, it finally fits into place. The other flaw, of course, is, you know, just having this temperature probe just hanging out the bottom. But again, I'm going to fix that in a later video. You've seen in the video that I tested it with DC power. It worked great. I tested it with AC power. It worked great. As for its operation, again, you'll find all that information on RD-Tech's page, and I'm going to leave that link in the description. I'm just getting to know it. I kind of played around with it yesterday. I added the battery to make sure it kept timing, and if I have any memory that I want to put in there, I want to make sure that sticks in there too. But yeah, as you can see, right now it's at 63.88 for the voltage, and that puts it at a voltage drop of about what would that be? See, I know whenever I connected it, I got it at 65 volts or 64.5. So 63.9 volts is what it's got going through there. Now it looks like it's kind of climbing. This power supply is kind of, I think when it warms up, it kind of increases in power. But the voltage drop's not too much on here, so we could probably see how high we can get it. So let's see, voltage set, I think 60s are the highest. Yeah, see, it lets you do 60. 60, it won't let you go higher than 60. Of course, the amps are even less. And then see, and then let's see, 42, which is another voltage I'd probably use a lot. Yep, see, I notice that whenever you put 42 in there, it goes 41.97, but if you read it on the gauges read what it actually says. Try this. This is my battery might be running low on my thing. Let's see what it's got for power. It's reading at 42.1. So it's kind of weird. It's just, I don't know if that's a problem with it. I don't know if it's accounting for voltage drop or what's the deal, but I didn't notice this kind of difference on any of the other guys that were having theirs on there. It's just kind of weird. To get to the menus, you just go ahead and press, I believe you press shift and then menu, and then it takes you to there. And if you want to adjust any of these, just press enter and then use the buttons. Take out boot power, buzzer, logo, language, backlight, and then if you want to get over there to change any of the time, you just go over, and then if you want to get out of there, just press enter again, or I believe, there you go, and then you just setting, and then this tells you what your home screen is. You can either use the main screen or you can use, I don't know if that's really an oscilloscope. It just kind of shows, you know, what the voltage is and how it dips and how it dives. I guess it shows the voltage and the current. I don't really use that too often. I may use it to check some battery charging later on. Not 100% sure. It looks like this is the memory function. You could, you know, change the memory function on here pretty easily. And then this is the product model, RD6006 SN0012058. The firmware is V126. The temperature is 25C or 78F. Let's see if I can do this again. Oh yeah, back. I haven't tried the interface yet. Right now it's set on USB. I've got Wi-Fi connected. I may, you know, at another time play around with it, but like I said, all that information is already on the net. I'm gonna leave the links down in the description. There's no reason for me to just do it again, because I mean, there's people out there can do a better job than me at, you know, showing, you know, how to mess with the interface and you know, test it with an oscilloscope. So that's basically it. I noticed that you can press the power button and leave it in standby mode, but as you can hear, the power supply is still running. So if the power supply is still running, that means that, you know, there's still power going to this. So it's probably better just to turn it off, unless you plan on, you know, being up here in your lab most of the day. But yep, so there you go. So if you guys have any questions, you know, leave them in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I will check you guys out in my next video.